you want to save time and learn how to invest in real estate faster, go to investorthrive.com to master the sales process from our training so you can close more deals with less leads, even if you're only doing this part-time. Or if you don't know where to start and need help, give me a call at 385-398-9862 and let's chat. We are live right now with my man, Shaun Young. I love it. I love it. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing awesome today. Thank you for having me as a guest on your show, brother. Super excited.
Dude, I mean, you let me be a guest on your show. Come on, man. I mean, your show is awesome. If you guys haven't seen Shaun, what's your podcast called?
It is called the Nationwide Real Estate Mastery
Oof.
Podcast.
Dang, man, that name wasn't already taken. That's a great name.
Exactly, right? I got super lucky.
Dang, I love it. Cool, man. So, first of all, I meant for the people that don't know you, we met through Tom Kroll, right? And awesome guy. And before we kind of get into who you are, I just gotta again compliment you on that snowball mic. That thing is serious right there. That thing is
Hey,
cool.
brother, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. We us podcasters do what we can, brother.
Yeah, man. I got the shirt.
I like
mic
that.
about.
I like your shirt as well. That's
You
a
like
nice
this?
mic, brother.
You know what, man? I had no idea what I was doing when I bought this. I had no. Someone just said it was a good mic, and I said, "All right, let's do it." Cool.
Gotcha. Yeah, same with me. Someone told me get a mic, and they told me get this one. Here we
Dude,
are.
yeah, exactly. We're all strapped. People tell us what to do. We get it done. So anyway, hey, for the people that don't know who you are, man, tell us a little bit about yourself. What you've been doing in the real estate industry.
Sure, guys. My name again, I'm Shaun Young. I'm from a military family. I was born in North Carolina, lived in Brooklyn, New York, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Japan, Arizona. I've lived all over the world, guys. I've lived and visited, multiple parts of the world. I joined the military after high school, served our country, was in the Air Force.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem, my pleasure. After the military, I was in the music industry, guys. I took a stab at being a music executive. So
What?
I ran a small record label for a little bit of time. Had some successful artists. Had a good run at that, and then I
Wow.
went into the world of being an executive, a sales executive. So
Dang.
I was a sales executive, guys, for an international company based in Sweden. Great, sweet deal until it ended.
Golly, bro, you got. Oh my gosh, you've done a lot. Keep going.
Yep, yes, sir. Now let me tell you about that last where I left off, where I say where that company in Sweden ended. The reason why I say that was a sweet deal is because I was one of the top executives in the United States. I was a top 3% the entire time I was with the company. I was a go-getter, a hustler, grinder, all of that wrapped into one, right? I made it happen. And in the company, they decided to change the CEO in North America. So they replaced the CEO, and that CEO replaced the entire sales force, the entire project management team. 750 people wiped out just like that in a day. Boom, all of us gone, replaced. Boom, out of there. So I said, never again, man. Like, never again am I going to allow myself to be in a predicament where I don't control my own destiny.
Wow.
If I'm going to fail, it's going to be because I'm failing it, and I'm still going to figure it out somehow. Failure is not an option around here. So I said, you know what? I'm going to figure this thing out. I heard that real estate is a good avenue. I hear that a lot of people are making money in real estate. So let me figure it out. And here I am, guys.
Wow, that is a journey, man. That is quite the dang journey right there. So basically them kind of canning you, for lack of better words, you were like, forget that. I ain't gonna be put through that, because you were top, you were doing your thing, you were working hard, and then that guy came in and basically didn't even care.
Didn't care, man. Got rid of us all, man. And let me tell you something, guys. That was super humbling because of this. It was a healthy six-figure career position for me. My family, my friends, my identity was tied to my role in that position, so to speak. So when it was snatched from up under me, lots of companies were recruiting me, and I could have easily gotten another job, very quickly. I'm positive of that. But
right,
there was just something about that feeling of being helpless when I lost that job, and I just said, you know what, I can't do, I never can be in this predicament again. I can figure this out myself. I'll feel my way forward. I'll figure this thing out. And like I said, I heard that real estate was the good avenue to go down. So I spent the whole year fumbling, guys. I went to one of those seminars that you hear about on TV or on the radio. Hey, come visit us, learn about real estate. estate. And then at the end, they
And they
kind of
pitch you.
they herd you back to the back of the room, and they say, pull out them credit cards or pull out them debit cards. And
Yeah.
I made a swipe, guys. I
What'd you
didn't know any better.
what'd you pay?
Yeah,
What was it?
20,000, got
Oh,
20,000, guys.
they got
They
you for
got me.
20.
They
Oh,
got me. They got me, brother. And let me tell
oh.
you how they got me. My mindset was like this. I knew that you had to invest in yourself, right?
Mhm.
But there's better ways to do it.
Yes.
And I knew that, people say it takes money to make all these philosophies that
Yes,
were
yes,
kind of
yeah.
they were, just being thrown at me, and I didn't really know much better. So until I learned better, that was the route that I took. And like I say, I failed my way forward. I spent a whole year in that course. I didn't do any type of activity. I was like a professional student. They gave me access to this university of information.
What
I
was
was
this? Was
lost
this
in the
Renatus or
sauce.
what?
No, it was a guy named Dean. His first name was Dean, and Dean something or another, brother. I can't remember his last
Wow.
name, and it's not to throw him under the bus,
Of course,
because
that's not
maybe
what we
someone
do, yeah.
joined that program and they might have crushed it, but
Yeah,
old Shaun here, like, man, I joined, and I was like, man, maybe I need to go back and get a job. I was questioning myself. I have responsibilities.
of course.
I have, my money was running. I got a severance package, but that money was quickly running out, so I had to make things happen, guys. And
Mhm.
let me tell you what I did. I said, I heard about this crazy guy named Tom Kroll, right? And Nathan knows him well as well. He's now a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I met Tom by chance in a Sean Terry event. Tom was
Wow.
not in our industry yet. Tom was
Mhm,
sitting like 4 people over from me. And the only reason why I remembered it was Tom is because he stood up and told his story
mhm,
about how he got into the business, how he used to own a landscaping company, and his whole story. So I remembered him. So
mhm.
when he actually came out with Wholesaling Inc., I'm like, oh my God, I was sitting right next to this guy. Now look at him, he's
Wow.
crushing it. So that gave me the inspiration right there to say I can do this. I invested one more time, got Tom as a coach, and guys, I hit the ground running. My results weren't typical, should I
Yeah,
say. I did
right.
2 deals simultaneously. I did a creative finance deal, and that deal yielded me $72,000 over the time frame that before I cashed out. It was a 3-year process, 3.5-year process, but it was a $72,000 deal. And then I had, wholesaling, and within 30 days, 11 deals under contract.
Bro, you get out of here.
Indeed.
30 days.
11 deals. 11 deals, guys. This was back in 2016. I spent about 300 something dollars. I did exactly what Tom said. I sent out mailers. I had a mentality that if I can't get a deal under contract within the next 2 weeks, my family is kidnapped and I'm not getting them back. This was an analogy
Yeah.
that Tom likes to use. Pretend your
Yeah, bro,
family is
that's what he
kidnapped
says.
and you're not getting them back unless you get a deal. How many excuses are you going to make at that point? You're not going
Right.
to make any. You're going to go do what it takes.
You're
And
gonna
that's
make
what I
as
did.
many calls as it takes.
As many as it takes. You're going to do what it takes, because that is the mentality you have to have in our industry. It's
Mhm.
it's highly competitive, but not in a negative way. It's only competitive because there's a lot of go-getters out here trying to make it. So you got to make sure that your energy and that your go-getterness is just as high as the others that are out here.
Man, I love that. I freaking love that, man. That's awesome. So you sent out some mailers, crushed it. I didn't know that you knew Tom from long ago, man. That's awesome. So Sean Terry, all you guys, you OGs, you've been going for it.
Yeah, man, we've been in this thing for a little bit of time, man. And like I said, it wasn't an easy road, guys. I was kind of a victim of my own early success, because I was like, oh my God, I got, all these deals right up
Mhm.
front. This has got to be super easy. So
Mm.
out of those 11 deals, I only, not only, but I closed 7 of them. And,
Hey, we'll take that.
exactly. I took it all day, guys. But let me tell you, after those 7 deals, it was about 9 months before I got another deal, because
Mhm.
of my mentality. My mindset was like, oh, this is easy. This is way easier than I thought. So once I
Right.
started getting my systems in place, I started, I reached back out to my mentors, which at the time I got super lucky. I got Tom Kroll and Joe McCall for the price of one, so to speak. I got super lucky.
Dang. Yeah, that is
Exactly.
lucky. That's sweet.
Exactly.
Wow, wow, man. So that is an amazing journey that you just let everyone know. And I guess for the people that are watching this that might be in that situation that you were in, what advice do you have for people that you work with in your program now, or just in general, like when it's getting hard?
Guys, when the going gets tough, you got to get tougher. And
Hmm.
I don't say that as a cliche, or as to brush off what's happening out here in today's economy, or with our industry. You definitely have to be mindful of what's going on, but regardless regardless of what's going on, you have to have the vision of where you want to go and the faith that you're going to get there. And you have to walk in that faith every day. And you have to take
100%.
action daily all day long to get there. It'll add up. It's like laying down bricks, laying down a
Mm,
brick at a time to build your dream house. It doesn't look like anything at first, but if you stop, it's not going to get you there any sooner, will it? Keep on laying
mm-mm,
those
mm-mm.
bricks. You'll have a house soon.
I love that, man. So you're saying to the people, the Investor Drive Nation, the people that are listening to the Payneless Wholesaling podcast, you can't give up because, you know, it's like that house you just said. You stop laying the brick, the house isn't going to get built. It's just there. It's just chilling halfway done. That's
Exactly. And
crazy.
someone else
That's
is going to
crazy.
come along and see it, and they're going to just pick up where you left off. It's just like,
Yeah.
digging for gold, man. You cannot give up. This is a marathon. This is not a get rich quick overnight. I don't care how many gurus you see out there that say
Mhm.
they got rich overnight, whatever. They might have. I don't know. But I'm
They
just
might have got
telling you guys,
lucky,
don't.
right?
Exactly. They might have gotten super lucky, and they were super good business people from the jump, and that is hats off to those folks. But for the majority of people out here, it's going to be challenging for you, and you're going to have to stay dedicated and consistent. Keep your why at the forefront of your mind at all times. Why are you doing this? That's what I mean by your why.
And I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And you know, I'm thinking because you have your own program, right?
Yep, I got a coaching program, teach students all over the nation.
So tell us a little bit about that. Like, how do you help people achieve their goals in that program?
Sure, great question, man. Well, being the fact that I was a student out here as well, guys. Like I said before, I met Tom and the folks over at at Wholesaling Inc. at the time.
Hmm.
I was just fumbling through stuff. YouTube University. I was putting a lot of things together, and I realized that a lot of other people are in the same position. And there's what I like to call a runway for our industry. It's about 90 to 100 days, 120 days. What do I mean
Mm,
by that? That runway is the time that you get started into the time that you get some sort of a good win. If that doesn't happen, you're probably going to just stop. Your
mm.
runway is ended and you hadn't taken off. You're getting out the plane looking for your next thing to get involved with. So what I do for my students is I literally build your business for you up front. From day one, I build your business. I
That's
own and
amazing.
operate a virtual assistant company. So I assign you a virtual assistant. They're going to go out there, pull lists for you, do skip tracing, help you with market research, do cold calling, text blasting, returning calls, following up, sending out offers. Guys, they make it very easy for you to focus on, closing those deals, getting the deal under contract. I walk you through the finish line, through the entire process, because I want to see you win.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
just
Nobody,
provide you a course.
yeah, nobody wants to join a course where it's just like, hey, here's some info. You can get that for free, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. I love
Exactly.
that. So let's talk about your VAs because that's awesome.
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
VAs are the greatest thing ever. What
Mhm.
specific KPIs or numbers do your VAs, when you give them to people, do they need to hit daily? I'm curious.
Sure. What we shoot for is this, guys. That based on the market changing, we shoot for this: 2,000 calls should yield us a lead.
Hmm.
50 to 75 leads should yield us a deal. So those are the basic metrics or the basic KPIs, which are key performance indicators that we send out there with our VAs. Even if you don't come on as a coaching client, there's folks out there that purchase our VA service that aren't coaching students, and we try to give them those same parameters as well, just as a guideline. But folks have their own KPIs, but those are my team's KPI standards.
So 50 to 75 leads that come through text blast, cold calling,
Mhm.
whatever the marketing channel, and you should be able to convert one of those. Is that what you're saying?
That's the goal, and that's exactly what we're shooting for.
I love that. And I think that's important for people to know numbers, right? Because you can get stuck in this and you can just be like, man, this ain't working. And then you say, well, how many leads do you have? Well, I got like 10. Well, you ain't getting a deal with 10. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was when I first started. I
100%.
was like, man, why aren't I doing more deals? Well, it's because I was barely getting any leads, literally any leads. And leads are people that want to sell. Is that how you kind of determine people that say, yes, I want to sell? Or what do you determine as leads?
A great question. A lead is someone who my VA has determined, who one of my virtual assistants or my client's virtual assistants have determined is someone who wants to move forward. The VA has qualified them. They've asked them a number of questions, and they've basically said, yeah, I'm ready to move on to the next step, which is negotiating. And
Got it.
that's when we pass it over as a lead.
See that I agree with you because a lot of times people would say, "Yeah, I want to sell. I'll sell if you give me $100." Like, no, not $100, $1 million,
$1
and
million.
that's $1 million. Yeah, $100. We all over that. But that's not really elite. That's just someone that's messing around. They're just like, yeah, elite is someone who wants to sell. And if you can get in front of 50, 75 people that are open to it, whether they, they want to list it, anything, if they want to sell, you need to talk to that many people. And 100%, I agree with you. So I want to go back to the beginning of the podcast. You said you used to live all over the world. Do you have a favorite place that you lived as you've lived all over the country and all over the world?
Sure, guys. Japan, man. I love Japan. It was a beautiful experience. The culture there was amazing. Very very peaceful place. It was a huge contrast from where I just moved from, which was the Los Angeles, California area. So
Wow,
going from Los Angeles to Japan, it was like night and day. And
that's
I was
wild.
able to truly appreciate that. And man, I've never forgotten that place to this day.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing. I mean, I've always wanted to go to Japan. Do you have a second favorite place?
I would say my second favorite is it's got to be I'm living here right now, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes. Let's go. What part of Atlanta?
I'm in Gwinnett. I'm in North Atlanta, Northeast Atlanta.
Did I tell you I grew up in Atlanta?
Yep, you did. You sure did. What
Yeah.
part of Atlanta did you grow up in?
I grew up in Marietta, Roswell, East Cobb. I grew up in that
Gotcha.
area over there. So
So
not too
you're
far
on the
from you.
northwest side. I'm on the northeast side.
That's right. Yeah, man. I love Georgia. I love the Chattahoochee River. I just went there like a little bit ago, went to Six Flags with my wife. It was during COVID, so there's literally no one there. So we were riding on those roller coasters all day long, bro. No
Oh,
line. We
you
were
were
just
loving you were
cruising.
loving it.
Oh, I was loving it. And at the end, I was like, man, I can't ride another roller coaster. My head hurts because you know how that is. I don't know. Have you been to the
Exactly. Your
Six
head.
Flags out there?
Yeah, absolutely. After you ride those roller coasters, it's like, oh man,
Yeah.
my
You
head's been shaking. It's fun,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, you got to
You
take
can
a
only
break.
really take so much of a roller coaster, which
Exactly.
I didn't think of. As you grow up as a kid, you're like, oh, I could ride forever. It's like, nah, not really, man. You can maybe go for a couple hours if there's no line, and then you're
Yeah.
spent.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool,
so
man.
funny you say that. I took the family out there for spring break, man. It's the same thing for us. Like we had the ability to kind of just keep going, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh no, I'm done after two. I like this. When I was young, I was let's go
Yes.
over and over and over. But yeah, I don't know. Something's happening to my brain nowadays. I can't
That's
take that shaking.
hey, man. I agree with you. So let's talk about this before we end. How do people reach out to you about your program? How do they reach out to you if they like your style, your stuff? What's the best way to reach out to you?
Guys, the best way to reach out to me is to visit my website, which is nationwiderealestateMastery.com. And I'm sure, sure Nathan will give you guys a link for that. And
Of
man,
course, of
schedule a call
course.
with me, man. I'd love to speak with you guys.
Man, that is a sweet name too on that website. I'm gonna type it out at the bottom.
Sure thing.
Nationwide Real Estate
Mastery.com.
Mastery. All right, let me put that down so everybody can see this as they watch this bad boy. Look at this thing.
Nice, nice,
Scrolling down. Nationwide Real Estate Mastery. Nationwide.
nice. I like that.
Oof, I love it. So that's really cool, man. So what I usually like to do at the end of the podcast is just say, hey, what golden nugget? What can you leave the people with if they never hear from you again, which obviously we want them to, but I'm just saying if you got to leave one nug, what is it for the people out there?
Guys, my biggest nugget is to get your mind right, like right now. Before you move any further or before you try to get into any industry or anything, understand right now that it's going to be a challenge. So one of my kind of like people that I like to read about or research about is Bruce Lee, right? He has this quote that says, "Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to deal with a difficult one." So
Wow,
I say that, guys, to say that you can do
that's dope.
anything you want out there, but prepare yourself for the challenge. Rise to the occasion, guys. It's pressure, either like they say, bust pipes or creates diamonds. And we're only creating diamonds around here.
Wow, that's some juice right there. That's a good nugget, man. That's
Yes,
like
sir.
that's not even a nugget, man. That's like a gold mine right there. That's a big pile. I love that. Well, dude, Shaun, it's been awesome chatting with you, and I know we're gonna be working together more as we continue. So I wish you the best of luck, guys. Reach out to Shaun. He's got a great program, great VAs. He's definitely can help you guys out. So thanks again, Shaun, and we'll talk to you
Yes,
later.
sir. Man, peace.
Peace out. We're out of here.